It's the same.
All right, I'm recording. We're live.
All right.
We're
and
live?
ready to rock and blizzard.
We're not live.
We're live.
It's live?
No.
It's like, God
No,
damn it.
it's not live. Some people wanted us to do it live.
Right.
Oh, really?
So we could go live though.
We can't
Yeah.
go live on YouTube.
We go live.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, we can?
Yeah.
Twitch?
You
I
could.
thought we need like 1,000 followers.
No, right there. We could go live. Right? I've gone live.
Oh wow. Maybe we should try one out live.
Not this
today,
one.
not
Yeah.
today. Not with the baker in the house.
No.
By the way, folks, welcome back to the Succulent Bros podcast.
Hey, how's it going? This is Oscar from Green Touch Nursery, and we got Your Cacti Sucks on this side, and we have a special guest today at the Succulent Bros podcast. We got Baker Sucks.
El muy especial.
What's going on, guys? Baker Sucks, as these guys mentioned.
Yeah.
Adam, first name.
And Oscar wore his favorite shirt today.
Oh, yeah. So we got just to honor Baker because he's an outstanding citizen and a great pillar of this community. I poured a shirt with his picture on it.
Yeah, we didn't plan this. Actually, I had this sweater, my only sweater in the car, and I was like, oh, hey, same sweater you got on there.
You've already got it used to your face being on Oscar.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That's besides the fact.
It's like I'm looking at you all over
That's not
here.
ridiculous at all. The ridiculous part is you want to get a jacket that happened to be
Yeah,
on the picture.
exactly.
Right. You know, it works out, folks. You know what I'm saying? People like them sweaters or jackets. They keep them around all the time.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh,
Yeah, I like this little vest little thing. You
Yeah,
see a lot
yeah,
of
I do.
this.
Yeah, you're a vest type of guy, huh?
like
I was gonna mention that Edgar's like one of the only person I know that can just always be wearing sunglasses, inside, outside.
Right,
You
he
just
doesn't
always
fuck.
have your fucking sunglasses on.
Yeah.
Yeah, not a lot of people do that. Like I only wear mine like driving, and the sun's in my eyes.
Oh,
I'm like,
really?
oh fuck.
Right.
But
No.
every other time, I never.
If it gets too dark, like if it's gloomy, I'd probably take them off.
But does it like hit you, and you're like, fuck, I can't see shit. You take it
No,
off.
You know, also, there's like a theory that maybe Edgar has just some beady little eyes. He feels self-conscious about himself.
Okay, I can see that.
You had one time.
No,
Nah, you got the eyes.
I think it's just I don't know. We're in Cali.
Yeah, that's
Sunglasses
true.
is a thing. I don't know.
I like
I'm
sunglasses.
a weed smoker.
I never see you wearing them.
I'm a weed
I
smoker,
bought
so they
thousands
get
of
red,
them.
and then that doesn't look very good.
Oh yeah, I see that.
No, I lose them, so that's why I stopped trying.
Yeah, but is it hard? So I wore sunglasses like in the summer, going to different events and stuff, like
Right,
cactus events. But I have to take them off because I can't see all the
Like
color.
when you get up close and shit.
Yeah. So what do? You leave them on?
It depends.
Like it depends on
It depends on the whole situation. If there's like shadows and stuff, I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, I have to. Like,
Yeah, you gotta get in
you gotta
there.
get in there.
See, that
But-
seems like a lot of work, but see, you're a sunglass guy.
It's just used to.
Yeah.
Or sometimes you're just like this and you just go like, you know.
Or he already kind of gauges like that color is this and real life is
Right.
that.
If you know the plant already, you know what you're looking at. You're like, okay, I can see it.
Right.
But if it's like, whoa, what the hell?
Yeah.
You're like, okay, I'll take them off. See, once I do that one time, that's it. The glasses are off.
Yeah.
You're like,
And-
why am I doing this?
Yeah, it's like,
Extra
this is
step
crazy.
to do the
Yeah.
same thing.
But I always found it fascinating. Like some people, but you pull it off though. Like that's your
I
look.
think just people get used to it.
Yeah, you're used to it. You're like, oh, Edgar's always wearing
Yeah,
glasses.
that's
it's-
Edgar. And
yeah.
everybody, whoever knows you, they know
That's
me
true.
as that. And then
If I put
It's
on
not a big
glasses right
deal.
now, I'd be like, what the fuck are you doing?
I don't think
I
so.
never really, I like them, but I just lose
Yeah.
them. I just lose them. The only reason
Oh.
I wear my glasses.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
For
what
some
I
reason,
only-
you take them off because you're looking at something.
Right.
so
Right.
you put 'em on.
See, I keep mine in the car. That's it. If I take them out of the car, there's a 1 in 2 chance I'm gonna lose them. For
Yeah,
sure.
usually they're either on my eyes or maybe up here on my head.
So where we at here? We're out here in.
All right, we're here about talking about glasses.
Yes. We got Baker Sucks. Baker Sucks started collecting, like what, 6-7 years ago?
Yeah, 2019.
2019, yeah, 6 years.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
couple
you started
years.
collecting just a little bit of everything when you started?
Yeah, my collection looked like your nursery. It was literally like a little bit of everything, a lot of bit of some stuff. I don't know. I just got like every month there was a new obsession. Like I saw malaria, and I was like, ooh, agave, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna start messing with agave.
And you learn about a new genus.
Right.
And then you're like, how many species?
Right.
Like, oh, this
You're
other
like, oh my
species, this
God,
other
that's crazy.
species.
And then like
Rabbit hole.
variegated started, you start catching that eye, and then I don't know, it just goes crazy from there. And then what happened? I don't know. I bought an Astrophytum on somebody's live sale. He's not around anymore, but yeah, I bought one. I got one. I was like, oh, this is really cool. It looks like a rock. I never, like, I don't know. There's like a starfish component to some of them, but
Right.
to me,
Look like stone.
yeah, they look like stone. Like what is this damn
Yeah.
thing? And
I
then,
see
you know, unbeknownst, just, you know, having 7 species in there, you
7?
just think 6, 7.
Well, I believe
He
you.
loves to name them out and do this whole thing.
I
Go ahead,
know.
do it.
I just
pretty
did.
good.
I
Go
just
ahead,
said
do
it earlier. 6.
Go ahead, do it.
Stigma.
Radiostigma, Kawali ants, Asteria, Caput medusa, ornatum, and
Capricorn.
Capricorn, yes.
Yeah, 6.
Six,
Why
six,
7?
six.
I don't know what I was thinking.
Well, I was thinking, whoa, this guy found another one.
I just made one up.
I mean, you never
No,
know.
6. So when I saw there was 6, I was like, oh, this is easy. You just collect
Just buy it,
6,
you collect 6.
and then you're like, and then I saw like, oh, what's this? What? Like what? Like what are you guys
It's a
doing?
whole deal.
What are you guys
This is crazy.
I can picture
Yeah.
Baker talking to himself at his house. What are you guys doing
Like,
with these
why?
plants?
There's so many,
Yeah.
so many varieties, and it's like, it's just highly cultivated. I
Yeah.
think one of the main draws that some collectors got with Astrophytum is that most of them don't have spines.
Right.
That's always a bit like, I know for some people like Copiapo is a huge market and there's a ton of spines on them, but outside of like the big like couple of genuses,
Right.
once you get lower down, the ones that get highly cultivated are the spineless ones.
Right, they're a little bit more approachable too.
Yeah, you're like, oh, I can actually touch
Right.
it. I can see more, because a lot of the ones that are like crazy covered in spines, you can't even see all the features. Even though they're there, you look closely.
Right.
Right,
It's hard
you
to
It's
see 'em.
more of like the features of the spine.
Right. With Astrophytum, so much is just visual. You can see, and it makes it easier to like select too.
Right.
So you're like, oh, I see something in that one. Oh, I'm gonna try to find another one, or I want to cross it with this. Kind of how, you know, Onzuka happened.
Right.
So yeah, I think that drew people to it, and then now you got the never-ending amount of cultivars and varieties and forms there are of
Never gonna end.
Astrophytum. Literally, like, still every day I think I see something new.
You see
I haven't
cultivar?
seen ever before.
Yeah, well, they've been doing it for a long time. Now that you dived into particularly just Astrophytums, your collection is 100% Astrophytums, or you have just a few things?
Like 99.7 or something. It's pretty.
Wow.
In my actual that I'm like growing area, yeah.
Right.
I have like landscape plants around my house and the front yard and the backyard that are, you know, different species, agave, stuff like that. Some columnar stuff, but
That was from the early on.
yeah, that's from the early on. And now I'm putting a lot of my bigger Astrophytums that I've grown, that I like outgrown the greenhouse, go in the ground.
Damn, that's
yeah,
scary.
I got some
Asterias in there?
asterias in there.
Did
Yeah.
you like put like a bigger protection of pumice around it, or you
No, I
just
just throw them in there. I wanted to see what would happen the
Hey,
first year.
yeah.
I wanted to see like what's gonna survive, what's gonna have a hard time. Almost everything's still alive. I lost like 1 or 2. Surprisingly, the asterias are like rock hard in there. I thought I was gonna lose a bunch of those.
Well,
I
we
mean-
didn't have a lot of rain last year.
No, so I got it. It was a good year to do it for
Right,
sure.
right.
I could have lost a lot if we had a ton of rain. I probably would have lost a few.
Yeah.
But I was,
I don't know.
yeah, I was tugging on some the other day. I was like, oh wow, these are in there.
Now, I remember your front planter. Did you put any in your front planter?
No, they're all in the back along the
They're
fence line.
West facing?
Yeah. So I gotta have a bunch there, and then there's another one that goes this way that I'm gonna plan to put a bunch in there too.
So it
Okay.
isn't a planter. So you did put more.
Oh yeah, I added
added-
pumice.
Okay.
I basically added my own mix and with
Right.
the soil that was already there,
Kind of mixed it all.
mixed
in.
it all together.
Yeah, but you said that you did like a certain little spot. You
Yeah,
said,
no,
not that.
it's just all mixed.
It was just,
And then I was just like strategically putting things
Yeah.
that I thought would grow nicely together, and, you know, not get too big mixed.
What is the
together.
purpose of putting them in the ground apart from seeing that they make it outside of the greenhouse?
Uh,
Um,
Seed production, get them bigger. See some yield growth.
Yeah, I guess that's like more like the wild seed, you know,
Okay.
like just see what crosses, see what nature takes care of for me.
Right.
Seeing how the form evolves, because I put some cultivars in the ground. Like I have a Onzuka in the ground.
Okay.
I don't think I've ever seen one out of a pot before. Like
Yeah.
I know they're out there, but
Right.
naturally what people are putting in the ground or have in the past are all the main species, right? They're not
Right.
really
Right.
putting cultivars in the ground.
Like that,
Like this one. This one you see a
big
lot
boy,
of gardens.
Astrophytum, huh?
Astrophytum here. Nice ornatum.
What is it, about 3 feet tall?
Yeah, it's a good 3. It probably has little, yeah.
It probably has no fucking roots.
It's probably all the way down to fucking here. Yeah. So this is some
Probably
nice,
narcotics out there.
nice growth, and I think you get, arguably faster growth,
Okay.
more
Okay.
growth. You're not restricted,
So how long have you been doing just the Astros now? How long has that been? Like what?
3 years.
3 years maybe?
Yeah.
I was
3
gonna ask you, and in that time, when you came in, did you have like certain theories on some Astros that you had but you didn't know exactly, and later on you found out, oh shit, I was right. This is a hybrid of this and that, or this is,
Yeah, I
you know?
think most of the theories I had were wrong.
Oh, okay,
I think I was
okay.
more finding out like, shit,
Oh,
I'm
that's-
so wrong about this. Like,
This is a form or this is
yeah,
not a form,
exactly.
right?
This is a form. This is
Okay.
not a form. This is a cultivar, but not really. Like a lot of the cultivars that some people recognize, like in Japan, overseas, in Thailand, aren't really. They're cultivating them, but
Yes.
they're not cultivars.
Right.
Like, for instance, there's a cultivar that people call Rinzi, which is like a lot of the areoles really close together, like that.
Yes.
This would technically be considered Rinzi,
Rinzi.
right?
Yes.
But that's naturally occurring all the time. I mean,
Right.
I could even argue with age. Almost all Astrophytums, their areoles start to get really close.
So
together.
it almost should be a form or a natural variety.
Right.
Natural
Not a
But
cultivar
nobody
variety.
scientifically identified it and said, this is
A variety.
form, this is variety.
Yeah.
So a cultivar grew it. A few of them came out like this. And
Right.
said, this one's a cultivar.
This one's a cultivar. We're
Oh,
calling
because
this
of this.
Rinzi. Yeah, it means mini areoles.
You know.
And
So what would be
I
the
get- I
research?
get the- I get
They'll
it.
find an Onzuka in nature that has a very knit type.
yeah, it'd take your entire existence to find that. I don't think you would
Onzuka's
ever
like-
see
It's a
it.
variant, no? Or is it a
Yeah.
cultivar?
It's a cultivar, but it came from naturally occurring.
But a cultivar
Like all
are
the, like-
varieties because they call them cultivar
Exactly.
varieties.
Cultivated
but a
variety.
just variety is the one that comes from nature.
Right.
I believe nature occurring variety.
Right. This is not. Gosh, it's hard to say.
What would it
I
be?
know.
That's what I'm saying. Like it's kind of subjective,
technically-
you know.
Yeah, it is. I don't
So
think there's
there's-
ever been one seen in nature.
Okay.
That's what we're gonna
So
say.
it came out. So it must be a
So
hybrid.
it's a
So Onzuka, Masato Onzuka's the founder's last name, he was crossing a regular myristigma and a trichostatum, the three
Okay,
rib.
I see it.
Both Nudum crossed
Oh.
them, and he got that. He got one of them had that pattern,
kind of makes sense a little bit.
right?
So
So
just kind of threw out the
Ran-
rotation or the
right,
forms or the,
exactly,
But we just talked about how nudums are forms.
right,
So if he crossed these,
yeah.
then it's not a. It could have been. It could have.
It could have.
The odds are really slim.
Slim.
That you get an Onzuka in nature because nudums
Right.
in nature are not.
Right.
It's not like a common thing.
And nobody's out there like planting all the seeds that fall. You know, you're getting one in
Right.
fucking 50,000, 100,000, or whatever it is,
And it has
then
to be
you gotta,
conditions,
yeah, you have to have the right conditions. There's a lot there. I don't think there's one in nature. I mean,
Right.
could be wrong.
So
There
a lot of possible cultivars get lost, or not cultivar varieties get lost
Right.
in nature.
oh, for
Right.
sure.
Whereas in
Never seen.
cultivation, you get to catch those.
Right.
Well,
Oh,
then,
shit, look
then
at this.
we'll give it to the cultivators. because
Yeah,
they
you
have
got
to
it.
give
You
it.
got
have
it.
to give
Because
it
it takes a year.
Yeah.
I mean, he got one, right? And then he has to cross that one with some. He probably went back, and it said that he
I mean,
he
you
crossed
got multiple.
backwards. So he went back to the beginning, tried to cross those same two, never got it. But then used seeds from or plants that he got from the same
one.
mom and dad. He kept crossing with the Anzuka and finally started finding ones that he can
They
match.
kind of looked, yeah.
And then they start crossing those.
Right, and then it blew up from there.
But I mean, that takes a while, man. I mean,
Oh, yeah, decades.
For like,
Yes.
like a seed-grown Anzuka for flowering age, what is that, like 8 years?
Yeah, about 8 years.
So he had to wait at least 8 years to at least continue the lineage
Right.
of that one Anzuka that
One.
he found.
To mix it with the other one.
Right.
It has at
with
least
the
8
Nudum,
years.
To
Right.
hopefully get some
Right.
bazookas.
At the same time, crossing those other two mother plants,
Right.
Might
Every year,
trying
every year,
to every
yeah.
year.
And getting a wild variation.
Wild.
Amount of variation.
Yeah, and having to wait. I mean, you still got to wait some time. Now, when I see Anzuka, like I have Anzuka seedlings, you can see it pretty early.
Right,
I
super
mean,
hairy.
yeah, but you know, I don't know if that was the case from from.
I don't
some
know.
of
You
the
don't think
first
it was like Cavaliers in there? The patterns are definitely there. The fuzzy, no, but the patterns are more.
ones? I think from the aspect of the patterning, kinda. I mean, you can almost see some of that in Capricorn sometimes too.
Right.
I have certain Capricorns that look like they have that patterning, and maybe that's part of the lineage, recessed genes. It gets crazy, right?
It gets
But-
crazy. We're not scientists.
No.
I am definitely not a scientist, folks.
Don't let the hat fool you.
Yeah,
He is
yeah.
not Indiana Jones.
I'm not Indiana Jones. I am Indiana Juan. I'm Indiana Jose.
But yeah, a lot of interesting stuff. I brought a couple plants.
Right, you want to rattle some of these
Kinda
off?
what
That's
do you got
what
here?
Yeah, we got so we got this beautiful Astrophytum Asteria Super Kabuto, star shape.
shape?
Yeah. So the reason I brought this is because number one, this is about 19 years old now.
Wow.
I got it when it was 14, 15,
Did you get it right?
15.
Where did you get it here?
One of the
Yeah,
early
something
guys?
like that.
So this is all
It
these-
definitely, the interesting thing is kind of the legs that it has weren't really formed. It was more
Oh, okay.
straight. They
Okay.
kind of bowed in a little bit
Yeah,
more
well,
now.
that's kind of a feature of the
Yeah,
star shape.
out of the star shape,
Of
they'll,
the
they'll
legs at
kind
the
of
bottom.
Right,
tuck
right.
in like that. But this is just a good view of what Asterias becomes, because I think so many of us are used to seeing just this,
There's little tiny
and then,
things.
or it gets a little like this. Very few people see
Big
them
ones.
full form, and from here it goes north.
it's
They
very-
just
very
get
fucking
Yeah.
cool.
they just get a columnar fucking thing from it.
Yeah.
I've
What
seen.
about in nature? Did they get columnar in nature like that?
I'm pretty sure.
I
Yeah,
don't think I've ever seen it.
I've never seen one. I've never
I
seen
don't
one
think
get
they'll
that
ever
big.
I don't think they'll ever get that.
No,
big.
they get trampled on. They get ran over.
they'll
Probably
break
get a little
off.
taller, but they'll.
Yeah, I probably
And
think that
ev-
this is probably the size they get in nature max, and then they go to shit.
And they probably go dormant every year, which they
Right.
They squeeze into.
A lot of times you'll see them in like kind of clustering
wrinkly.
forms, like almost like
I
how
like
the
those.
loaves are. So yeah, you hardly see them live out their longevity. Be interesting to know if there was like one out there.
That's
It would have to be so old though, man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
those
God,
raw
and then to
habitat
not
and it's
get
like that
touched.
size. If
Just
that's 19 years old, that shit
Yeah.
gotta be like 100.
oh yeah.
How old do you think the one in the back is?
So this is I mean,
We were talking about it.
yeah, and it's not exclusive to Astrophytum, but they're hard to age. They're really hard. Like some people will go by the aerials, like
Right.
this will get like 2 or 3 a year or something. But then you look at something like this, like fuck, I don't know. And then something like this, same thing, 19 years, but this is a lot less aerials than you would think. 19 times 3, right? That's almost 60 it should have going from here to here, and it doesn't. So some of them are pretty hard to age unless you're growing them. And then the environment too is gonna just depict crazy how
Now
long
this is
they are.
another question. Like with that, what'd you call it? The Ricci?
Renzi.
Rinzi?
Yeah,
Rinzi.
Okay, the thing with the Rinzi in nature, I was just thinking right now,
sure.
is these plants are growing slow as fuck. Dude.
Oh yeah.
So the aerials are close together.
Yeah.
Just
and they're just
naturally,
popping. They're just
you know?
popping. Yeah.
So I'm thinking in nature you can't really tell. that
Right.
much.
Right. It almost looks like all of them are are like
Yes.
that. Yeah.
Yes.
And that's what tripped me out when I started doing that research on how some of the foreign countries identify something like.
we're able to identify.
Well, this isn't really. It's just like something people are calling them, you know, rather than.
But it's still fun to like dive into it and be like, "Whoa, wait a minute! I think I understood this."
Right, right. Now, I will say that that feature set of how Rinsey forms gets more prominent in the older years. When they're younger, they're way more spaced out, the aerials. But when people are cultivating for Rinsey, even at a very small age, they're super close already. Like 2-3 years old.
Compared to the other
Compared
normal
to like this, where they're like, super all long now, but this plant's, 20
Well,
plus years old.
They're isolating the phenotype. No?
Exactly. They're isolating it, exploiting
Shit.
it, and making it,
Folks.
come up identified very early.
And the beautiful thing about this, folks, is that it doesn't just apply to Astros.
No, this is
No,
worldwide.
This is worldwide. You can do this with any fucking
You can do this
genus.
with
Right.
fucking cilantro.
Yeah, you
All of
could.
this triple leaf cilantro.
Right.
Yeah, there's industries of peppers,
Right.
ghost peppers.
Right.
Well,
All
now
these
they-
foods doing all kinds of different types of
Yeah,
ghost peppers.
and now they clone them and stuff. That's why you get like giant strawberries now.
Right,
It's like
right.
mutated.
Tissue culture.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Are they tissue culture in any Astros that you know?
I'm sure somebody's doing it. I
You
talked to
got
a
a process?
couple people that told me they were trying something like that, but I haven't seen anything
It just
come of it.
The only thing we see is the agaves and
Yeah, aloes.
some people do
Yeah.
aloes.
Typically, they do it with stuff that is gonna be harder to get seeds from.
Right.
So, but if you could get seeds
Easy.
from these a little easier,
Yeah, it's so
then
easy
You
to
just
see
kind of like
spashes.
go through
Yeah.
that vein,
And I think that's part of its charm and stuff too. Is they seed so easily. They're easy to pollinate,
Okay.
and you're not gonna kill yourself. Peeling back and trying to get the seed even. So
Right.
A lot of that.
You know what I think you have done in the past 5 years on Astrophytums that I've noticed. I feel like you've been educating the people based on like what you've been finding and what you've been kind of
As you were learning too.
as
Yeah.
you're learning, and I feel like you don't hear too many people talking about how easy it is to kill these Astrophytums. When we're coming into the Astros,
yeah,
people will say,
What's
"Oh,
the whole deal?
Astrophytums,
What's the
Yeah.
whole deal?
and I can't keep them one alive."
yeah.
So I feel like
I think it's kind of changed.
yeah,
I feel like it is changing a
At
little
least,
bit.
the people that are around you and what
Yeah.
you know.
I think people are realizing. So early on in my collecting and growing years here, I didn't pay too much attention to soil, like soil composition. I was just like, whatever, that's
Yeah.
too far down. You guys are overthinking it. Just throw some soil on it. Put succulent soil. Call it a day.
Yeah.
When in reality, it's a huge deal, especially for for a lot of plants, but for Astrophytum, they definitely like the aeration of being able to breathe as it crawls down with its roots and tries to find nutrients. They want that aeration that comes from inorganic materials like pumice, turfus, all kind of things like that.
Yeah.
Really help them
They're like rocks.
grow without rotting, right?
Folks,
Um,
Astrophytum like rocks.
They like rocks. They can grow
I got
full
this rock,
inorganic.
man.
Yeah, you can grow them inorganic fully, 100%.
This is
You would have to
a,
fertilize every now and
They
then,
probably
but
water a little bit more. But
Astrophytum, Myriostigma,
Yeah.
Ansuka,
Anzuka,
Rizzi.
Rinsey, yeah.
But okay,
Old.
but if they called it Rinzi, when was Rinzi created? And is this part of the Rinzi or just called
No. I think it's just part of its form.
And then
I don't
back
think
up.
this was like cultivated as Rinsey.
Right.
I think this was just an Anzuka
So
myriostigma.
what you're saying is they cultivated something and
Yeah.
they labeled it Rinzi,
Right.
but they're predominantly isolating phenotypes that look more what they call Rinzi than
Exactly.
what this will be a natural occurring.
And they are seeing the result of that because the early seedlings into like small plants are showing the Rinsey feature very early.
Because this was almost V-type. but
Yeah, it has a
not-
little
it's
bit.
not
No, not
like
fully.
predominant.
I wouldn't call it V-type.
It has some like it's like a Y.
Yeah.
This is a Y type.
Yeah.
It's like a yeah, but there is some beautiful patterns on this one.
Yeah.
Now, does these Ansukas ever come in different color flowers? Because there's also the different color flower
Yeah.
variation or phenotype.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, once
Yeah,
you
that's a
once
whole
you
other world.
think you
Boom, boom,
like
boom,
settled
boom,
it
boom,
all
boom.
with all the different forms and cultivars, and then they throw the flower cultivars actually.
Right, so
when
you
you're
got
just
like the certain variation of tubercle formation. You have the certain speckled formation. That's one other thing, and then
Yeah.
the flower formation, and maybe the form of the body
The
type
growth habit.
of the
Yeah.
So this one has like has there any been, and this is gonna sound stupid, but has there any been any unsukas that were nudum?
No.
And you're like, this isn't
No.
unsuka,
But it's no. There's no way to tell.
There
It
has
would
to
be.
be.
It has to have the trichomes to be on
That just blew
Zuka.
your mind.
No, you didn't. If
That-
you scrape,
I
if
blew
you
his
scrape
mind,
them off
baby.
of there.
No.
But no. You
I've
can't.
seen nudums with this.
Body.
Okay,
type
that's
of
that's
body.
just Renzi.
That's a
then.
rinsing.
Okay.
Right. That's just
Nudum.
Nudum Renzi.
Asuka
But you
is
can't have.
the-
Yeah, on Zuka's the trichome, so you have to have the dots,
What about the Mr. Splotchy?
Mr. Splotchy.
They're-
Some that are just like.
they're
Yeah.
not-
So what I have seen, and I
There is no
posted
cultivar.
this.
That's
as
not a cultivar.
No,
We
it's
just called
not.
it that.
We just called.
But I have seen like a V type.
I agree with
I
you.
know it sounds crazy. V type Nudum.
Okay, that's what I'm talking about.
The plant, the whole plant is Nudum,
Mm-hmm.
except for by the areoles, there's V's.
Right.
So it's
I don't think you can call it Nudum though. You're not supposed. It's like a play on words almost because Nudum just means nude, naked,
no
Okay,
no,
but it has
nothing.
V, but okay, what we're talking about. Okay, so V type. It
Well, they have to
the
give it a whole different
trichomes,
name.
It has the
Yeah.
trichomes, but if you could see right here, and this is Suka,
Uh-huh.
it's not 100% V type. But see, the phylum on the tubercle almost extends to the V.
See that if that were the case, like if you're saying like the areole was making the V, then that would be like a nude V type for sure.
But it wasn't.
But it's not.
It has the
It was
speckle.
actually just the trichome.
Okay, so let's play on it. So say we have what you could consider a possible V-type nudum, which don't exist,
Right.
but it has the tubercle slightly slanted, but the speckles follow the slant. If you core it and that tubercle shoots out a
V-type.
pup, it's gonna be.
Oh yeah, the pup.
Look, some don't have it, and some do, but this
Right.
one does.
Right.
So
The,
you could phenotype it off of the one plant.
I don't think so. I think the pups always come out clones, don't they?
Yeah, they have to.
Yeah, they're
Well,
clones of the.
Okay, but you have a very good one
they're-
right here,
they're-
though.
yeah.
Because they have nothing else. They're
But
not
you can,
feeding.
but you can actually isolate this tubercle into becoming this.
I don't think
What
so.
about the variegated?
I
part?
think so.
You think so? Oh yeah,
Tony
actually
had
you're
that
right.
one.
You're
Remember
right.
Tony had that
Because if
one?
you had like a half moon,
Right.
where like one side's variegated, the
There was-
areole on the variegated side.
Tony brought
right.
one in. It was about this big, and it had like
That's
5
crazy,
heads.
dude. Yeah.
One of them was like a spiral.
What was it?
It was a Asteria.
Okay.
One of them was a spiral, and every other one was different. V-type, regular super
Really?
but it all had different little patterns.
Wow.
Have you cored any
And they're
of
all
your
pups.
astros?
One.
Did they have
Few
any,
years ago.
any fine isolated?
I cored a.
Find
a
one that has
coalins.
weird different tubercles.
Yes, find one that have
Yeah.
tubercles on each one.
core that one.
So you could get all those different variations.
Yeah, that's a really good point. I mean, it's always hard for me to do that because that means
I
that's a
mean,
really cool
that's a
plant.
nice plant.
I know.
Okay,
But I mean,
but
it's
it will prove something. to
yeah,
somebody, I
yeah.
guess. I don't
But
know.
you're right. I think that's a very good point. I totally forgot about how.
Here at
people
Succulent Bros
cultivate like that.
Podcast, where we gotta have more questions than answers, folks.
Yeah.
We do have definitely more questions than answers.
Oh yeah, for sure. It
Yeah.
always ends up like that because then you start asking more questions and they just build on each other.
It just keeps going.
I wonder if we had like I know you've been doing this and you're very professional in Astros, but we're still kind of like in the vein of learning new stuff.
Sure.
So like, what if we had somebody sitting here next to us, all three? The fourth person will be doing this for 30 years.
Oh,
you think
dude.
he'll be able to answer this, or we will blow his mind also?
I don't know. It's hard to say because it depends on what they've been growing for that 30 years.
Yeah.
If they've been growing just for straight species, then it's
Well,
going to be tough.
We've been around some. I don't know if like actual cultivars, but we've been around some of these older growers,
For sure. And they have.
and all they could be is like, that's a good question. Like,
Yeah,
Right.
they
So
don't
that's
know.
what we feel. We feel a little validated, me,
Right.
or Edgar, and me, because we've gone to these collectors and we ask
Yeah.
these same questions. And
Oh,
we
yeah.
ask, and they look at us and be like, huh.
That's a good question.
Good question. Like, you never thought about this?
This plant's fucking 35 years old. You never even
You
like
never
just
crossed
like.
your mind?
Yeah.
You never crossed your mind?
Yeah, that's a good
That
question.
could be a possibility.
I've
And they're like,
run
no, I never
into
thought about it.
I've run into similar experiences with some older growers that have
Your
had
child?
some crazy stuff, and yeah, I feel like people end up, they're growing what they have. They're
Yes.
content with it, and they're not too worried about like scratching that other curiosity.
They ain't corny
Like,
fucking
yeah,
corny,
no. They're like, no, I don't even look at that plant. I just leave it there, let it do its thing, and it's happy.
But you're the only one that has this one with these type of turtles. You can fucking
Oh yeah,
lose it.
make some crazy stuff.
I'm like,
That's what I.
Well, we know growers like that too.
Oh yeah,
Right.
that's what I see when I go into the greenhouse. Like, there's a lot of people doing cultivation, of course, but a lot of people also have a lot of the same plant, and you lose, some of the hybridization that can happen when you have such a different variety. Because I was thinking in my head, like, I'm looking around today, just like thinking about what to bring, and I was like, what happens if I cross this Asteria super caboon with this Myristigma Onzuka almost V-type? What is that gonna do? What is that gonna make?
You don't know.
Like that's
no
right.
idea.
And they're next to each other. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it's
So-
gonna happen, man.
yeah, like
Yeah, or
doesn't
they're
make it
out there.
happen. Yeah, or they're out there.
They're out there already. It's
Sure.
just you don't know how to identify them.
Right. What I've seen from growing and starting seeds is you can cross something like that and get 99.9% a regular Myristigma. Just like,
Well,
what
it
the
doesn't even
fuck?
have any of
Yeah,
those.
like what happened?
You remember
Yeah.
back to one of the parent
Oh yeah,
plants?
happens. It happens.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so it's a wild
Okay,
thing.
well, what do we have here, though?
Right. This one we
We got
already
here.
did. We did the Zuka.
Yeah.
That one looks
This
like a
looks
hybrid.
Yo!
Oh God, yeah, that is a
Maybe you should
hybrid.
Put it in a not top line.
I know. Yeah,
You don't move.
The thing is, the limited spaces.
I know. It's a lot of
inner
room.
pots,
Yeah.
All right, so you want to give it a guess? You
Oh,
give
yeah.
it a guess and I'll give it a guess.
Yeah.
That thing right there, for sure, dude. I'll give you a guess right now.
All right,
Go.
That's a Astrophytum asterias cross with a Astrophytum capricorni X ornatum.
Ah, man.
That's what I think.
I was going to go simple. I was going to go Asterias or not.
What do you think?
He went.
I know what it is, but
Barrels
actually,
and cultivars because there's got to be a cultivar.
yeah.
here.
So Capaz.
Okay.
It's a cap ass.
I just
so-
threw the ornatum in there. 'cause
Yeah, but I think you're right. I was looking at that the other day. Like,
This is ornatum.
yeah, that's ornatum. But how much ornatum?
No, I don't know.
It's
The-
just
the
a
hy- it was
recessed.
just a hybrid.
Yeah,
I
it's just
think,
recessed in there.
It's a cap ass. Yes,
Cap
yes.
brother. And
ass.
that's probably part of the reason why you got a little bit of extra.
Capricorn
What is it?
X.
Fucurios?
Yeah, a
some
little
sort?
bit of
Asteria.
Fucuru
So
going on.
I don't have any Capricorns right now. To show.
No caps? You used to have a bunch. I know you sold them
They
all.
come and go, man.
Yeah.
Come and go, man.
But yeah, Capaz, where we say Capaz, meaning Capricorn was the mother,
Okay.
and then you pollinated it with the Asterias into the Capricorn.
Yeah, so the Capricorn gave you the fruit.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
So, and it has some variegated, a little bit of variegation.
go.
And actually, I know this one's from Tony Marino. Shout out
Right.
to Tony. But I know I have seedlings from him from this
Oh, okay,
plant,
yeah.
and they're variegated too. So even you still that's getting passed down to some of the offspring as well.
And the guy hates hybrids.
I know.
Who you guys talking about?
Tony.
He's got Tony Marino
That's
Yeah.
a Tony
He's
Marino.
Tony
Tony
hybrid.
Marino, yeah.
with a Joe Winchik pot.
I don't know. Lift it up.
You want me to lift it up? Well, that's
Oh.
a pea pot.
Petey pot.
I never seen a pea pot with like.
Me
not
either. This
touching.
must be one of his old ones. I
Yeah.
don't know if it
18,
shows.
Like more.
Oh yeah, 2018. I guess not that old. But so it got repotted recently, not recently, but a few years back. But yeah,
It's a beautiful one. It's
It's gorgeous.
variegated too.
yeah,
A
variegated.
little chunk of
And
variegation.
so we have a theory, and like, we're gonna go based on you because you're not doing much with the coring,
No.
but you are bringing some stuff that was like degrafted and has a bunch of pups around it.
Yes,
So-
I have.
So you might notice this. We have a theory that true variegation has to touch the tubercles, otherwise it won't be able to produce ever in its life. If you
Again.
Yeah,
Okay,
on the variegation, on the plant.
got it.
So this one has it underneath early on in his years.
But then-
Right.
completely.
Got a
Yeah.
little back here.
Now that goes, ask a few questions on this. If it's younger and it's variegated and it lasted when it was older, is this product of its environment? Is this nature versus nurture? Because
That's a good
It
question.
was born variegated, as you can see down there.
Yeah,
But then Tony took the variegated off.
I think
Well,
it's just
it's
a
just
chance.
natural,
I
yeah.
think it's just chance, dude. I think it's just
And I think
It's gonna happen. What's gonna happen is gonna happen.
I think it depends.
God has a plan for all of us.
No,
I think it depends on how much variegation there is on the plant to begin with.
Right.
I feel like I want to say that. Like if we bring this plant back down, however many years back, right?
Yeah. It seems like they had.
It probably had a
Macedonos.
pretty good bit.
Yeah, like a chunk over
Because
here.
now I'm
chunk
thinking,
over here.
yeah, if it has chunks like that,
To the
and
side.
you bring it back down, it was like kind of splotchy.
I felt like it would have been
And then the new growth just gave it up.
started.
Well, did it, or is it just like, like would it come back in the future, like in the
I
next 20
think it-
years?
You
It
never
could.
know.
It
I
could.
think you never know because
don't
But
see
see,
any-
that's the thing that trips me out with variegation though, because if it can come back, does that mean it can start out of nowhere?
Okay,
Yeah.
but then that is not nature. That's
I
nurture.
think so.
But do you think variegation can start out of nowhere? Like a plant showing no variegation and then one day variegation comes?
With new growth, maybe.
We've seen it done.
Yeah, right?
We've seen it happen.
Because that just means you have the gene, like you have the disease in
Well,
you.
this is a question that me and Oscar
God,
kind of
this
went
is
back
tough.
and forth,
This is tough.
where we don't know if or maybe there's two types of variegation. Maybe there's a variegation that's viral, that's kind of like
Uh-huh.
infectious,
Yes.
that could get into other plants, and
Yeah.
then there could be a variegation that's just
Genetics.
genetic.
Oh yeah, there is. So there's a cultivar called Koyo, and it's seasonal variegation on
Okay.
Right, but
Astrophytum.
that's seasonal.
But what are you talking then? Because that is
is
the type.
Well, that's
yeah.
genetics.
That's genetics.
Genetics.
That would be a genetic variegation.
Yeah, you're right. As opposed to
Uh,
like
environment.
environmental variegation. I don't know if that's a thing. Is that stress?
It could be stress or something, but I mean,
Or you
we
start
worked at a
getting,
nursery
like-
a long time, dude,
Uh-huh.
and it wasn't with these slow growing shit. It was with bushes.
Right.
And sometimes, out of nowhere, this plant that has no family lineage to this other variegated plants that we got over here, out of nowhere,
Right.
gives out a little branch that's variegated.
Now, but is that variegation or is that like, was it the chlorophyll disease? Because it could just be lacking the chlorophyll, right? And,
Right.
No,
And it would
was
look like
variegation.
whitish
Well,
yellow.
we clone things.
I know the
we were able to
difference.
clone it
Yeah.
and keep it.
Yeah. Because the variegated plants give you those chunks, and we just cut them
yeah.
off.
Yeah,
Because we
Okay.
know they're going to
And then you
fizzle
get
out.
right.
We just keep all the
Interesting.
ones that are splashy.
But have you seen it in cactus, the succulent?
I haven't seen that.
Me either. But they're still a plant,
Yeah.
so it's not to say that it couldn't just happen.
I mean,
Variegation is weird. So is it a form? Is variegated
People
a
say it's a
form?
disease.
Is it a form?
No, I don't think
What
so.
is it? Is it a variety?
No, I think it's a disease, like a
What
actual
do you
disease
call
of
it
the plant.
in
I-
botanical terms?
my theory is a type of monstrose.
It's
yeah.
a type of mutation.
I think the type of
Mutation.
mutation is a monstrose. I
So
think
we
they
got-
should. It would just be a monstrose
So
type.
on Astrophytum, so we can keep
You have that aloe over there. That's variegated, right?
that's variegated. Yeah.
And it's just naturally see that.
But see, well,
Sometimes they give you a full yellow little
Right,
head.
because
right.
it comes from the wherever it's gonna come out.
Exactly.
And
Right.
it doesn't have to do anything with tubercles.
Right.
Cacti only produce to the tubercles.
To the tubercles.
So it gives you more defined
Right.
definition of
Right
what's
from
gonna
that,
come out.
yeah.
So cloning of itself, you know. So
That's
I mean,
interesting. It's an interesting
Question.
thought
Okay, but
experiment.
what forms apart? What mutated forms? What mutated forms
Cresting,
are on Astro that you came across?
cresting,
Mutations?
monstrose.
The monstrose, those Kiko monstrose,
Picos would be
those are the
monstrose.
ones.
Yeah, that's considered monstrose.
Are the picos?
hmm
The lesser skins,
Lizards.
Yeah.
That's gonna be a monstrose.
Lizard skin.
or is it any of them like this weird knobby one?
star
Are these the
shape?
monstrose already?
No.
I don't think so. That's more like form.
I've seen some monstrose on sucas.
Yeah.
and graphs.
I've seen some.
Yeah.
I have one or two.
Fucurius, like
The really
that's
weird.
gotta be some type of monstrose, though.
They say nah. They just say it's it's just
Like isolated-
exploiting
the-
malformed ribs,
Yeah.
ribs that don't form
That
all the
looks
way,
weird. That looks like it's
and then exploiting that.
Right.
okay, what
But you
is
can't
the-
exploit monstrose.
Yeah, I guess
You know what I'm
can.
saying?
Yeah,
yeah, but
I think to a point, because then at a certain point, the plant has like no growth point or something, and it's just a blob and it dies.
I think there's certain plants that are more that lend themselves easier for
monstrosity.
monstrosity
Yeah,
propagating.
I think
No.
that's true.
Now, on your travels of Astrophytums and diving into them,
A ver.
which one of them have less cultivars out of the 6 true species?
Ooh, that's a
Oh.
good question.
I think that's easy.
You think that's easy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hold on, let me think.
The one off the bat is the fucking
I know.
ugly duckling.
The ugly
Yeah,
duckling
yeah,
of the
yeah.
group. That's
The
it.
ornado.
No.
Capricorn?
No, the Caput
Caput
Medusa,
Medusae.
dude. What the fuck do you... What
What-
Oh my gosh, I'm
what's
not even
crossed with
thinking
that?
about that. Nothing.
Nothing's crossed.
Why are you fucking asking me these rhetorical questions? I'm thinking about ones that actually
He's
have.
like, waiting for the guy.
No, because
I
you
said out,
asked
of
me.
the six
Which
true
has the
species,
least?
which one has the least cultivars?
Of course, they have none. None is
That
not the
not-
least.
That's least.
Okay.
None is
All right,
none.
You're right.
I think ornatum
He's
has the
literally
least.
right.
So?
Yeah, just because it's spiny.
Okay.
I mean, it has
What
some.
about this?
All right. Second question.
There's a lot of Coaliensis cultivars,
Second question.
Not a ton, but
but that
there's
would
some.
be more than...
Yeah.
Out of-
Tornadoes, we've seen a lot of tornadoes.
Yeah.
Out of the spiny astros, which there are what two?
Ornatum, Capricorn.
Capricorn's pretty high up there on
Which
cultivars.
which cultivates to the best of
Honest-
its ability?
Honestly, I think ornatum does. I think
Okay.
ornatum's just like a powerhouse,
Well,
dude.
look at this. It's like a very
I know
aggressive
it'll
grower.
cross with every
Yeah,
outside
yeah,
of
yeah. Gotcha.
Kapumanusa, outside of Coelins, it'll cross with every. But it's just like it's almost like the I don't know. I don't even know how to explain it. It's
Wait
almost
a minute.
it's almost like
Buffalo?
a
It's a buffalo?
No. I just thought about how you're against me on the Astroversia. What if the only one that can be cultivar is the
Sorry.
Caput Medusa, and that's the one
No,
you
it
can actually
doesn't
cross
work.
with Luckenbergia?
it doesn't work.
Have you tried Luckenbergia with
Caput Medusa?
Caput Medusa? They look
No.
the same. They have codexes.
No, they don't have enough in. They don't have enough in
I don't
common.
think so.
Look, Caput
flowers are
Medusa
exactly
doesn't
the
even
same.
have enough in common with its own species,
Now-
with its own genus, to cross with them.
Yeah.
You're
Okay.
gonna fucking cross it with something
All right,
outside.
well, let me give you another one. How many forms are there on the not so cultivated forms?
Not so cultivated, like maybe 5 or 6
How many forms are on Coeliensis?
forms. What do you mean forms?
Any monstrous forms?
Yeah.
Variegated forms? Have you seen a variegated Coeliensis?
No, but they have to
Look
exist.
at that hard ass no.
No, but
He
they
went
have
like
to
this.
exist.
He went like this.
I haven't seen one, but they have to
But you've been
exist.
looking at Astros for 5 years.
I know.
There's still shit out there. You can't. The possibilities
Yeah,
are endless.
it
It's
has-
like a chess.
Every
chess
plant doesn't. Every plant not have a variegated form? Of course it does.
has to.
It has to.
Okay, yes. But,
I haven't seen it.
Okay, but why haven't you seen it?
It's fucking rare.
What about a variegated form of
Actually,
Caput?
okay,
They
here you
have
go.
a variegated
Oh yeah,
form,
I have it. But
okay, but
right,
Is
and
this-
that's a really good question, because, like, I mean, there's not a lot in cultivation.
that's why.
Yeah, there's not a lot in cultivation. There is and there isn't.
That's what I was trying
They're
to
out
get at.
there. They're out there, but there's not a lot.
So what other forms could this have?
A lot.
Monstrose?
And I think that's why we need to keep it going with, gosh, how do you guys say it? Coelians?
Coeliensis.
I don't know if that's how you say it.
Cahuila.
Coahuila.
Coahuila?
Coahuila.
Oh, wait.
Oh, Coahuila.
Mexican.
I heard the.
Cahuila's a place.
I know it is, but the terminology of the scientific name
Right.
is very specific, and it sucks to say.
What? Coahuilense?
That's close.
Coahuilense.
I remember I
Coahuila.
listened to it on somebody had it on their webpage like 100 times, and I still couldn't say it right.
It's hard to
It's a
write.
weird, but
Coa.
I know it's just a weird word.
Coahuila.
Coahuila.
I know it's Coahuila, right?
Yeah.
The place.
Coahuilensis.
Coahuila. But
Coahuilense.
see, it stops before that. Coahui, and then Lindsay.
Coahuilense.
Sounds so
Coahuilense?
weird. Coahuilense. And imagine saying that. So
That's
I say
crazy.
Koa. I say
Coahuilense.
Koa just because it's such a fucked up word.
Okay, but how about why ended in NC? What could have been NCIS?
That's true. And it almost makes you want to say it like that, and that's why you say it like that.
No, they did that because
There's
they found out this is not a myriostigma.
Right, it's not
If
a
it was a
myriostigma.
myriostigma cahuilensis,
Yeah, I see it.
Coahuila.
I see it. Yeah.
but it's a whole different.
It's its own.
Jesus, dude, we're
I love it. I love it. Okay, so here's the thing. You're right.
Yeah, you're right.
The amount
That's a
of
true variety.
True variety.
yeah, the amount of koas out there is not very many. There's not a lot. We've had this conversation before,
Yeah, we always love it.
and like I'm looking online. I'm like, I'm just trying to find one just to make more seed. And there's not one for sale on the internet. I'm like, what's happening? Now growers, or the ones that are for sale aren't koas. They're myriostigmas
Right.
with just a lot
I
of
just
flecking.
sent you one the
I know,
other
like,
day.
this is a myriostigma.
Some dude was
This is a
selling that for $50.
myriostigma.
It was like this
That's
big,
part of the
and it
problem with
was-
this variety.
it's just a-
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, they're trying to sell this. That's kind of what it
The
is.
other problem with koa is that you can't cross it with an Astrophytum myriostigma. It makes the seed pod. It kills it.
Right.
Yeah.
It makes it sterile.
So you just gotta go back on this.
Yeah,
What else can
and
you
that's
do?
why there's not. I think that's probably why the open air doesn't happen as much with these,
Okay.
because there's not a
Nature
bunch of
doesn't make
them
a lot of form.
That actually connect with
connected
and make
together, right? Some
What-
people will have one in open air and they'll never get seed
Right.
because it's trying to cross with
Yeah,
myriostigma.
'cause it's hard to find.
Now
out.
it'll cross with asterias.
Right.
It'll cross with
The
Capricorn.
cultivators in Asia got their hands on it already. They got a.
They did.
They got a fucking.
They have the Kiko
They have
variant,
a Kiko. It's
which
fucking
is just
beautiful.
insane.
Oh yeah.
It's
Yeah.
insane. Honestly,
The Astrobergia.
honestly,
Coahuilensis.
when I look, I have a couple Kiko Coalians, and the amount of time it must have taken to get that form is just
Okay, well, hold
astonishing,
on.
dude. I can't even.
Let's stop the conversation now.
I know, we're going deep.
Let me just say this last question right here, real quick. Have you seen a buffalo Kiko?
Hold on. Let me.
This is
No, no.
Is that not possible? Why wouldn't it be possible?
You just get a Kiko cross with your buffalo.
Okay, there's years and years and years. I mean, you have to get lucky. You have to get lucky for it to be a perfect
Yeah,
50-50
Kikos are
of those two
prolific
features.
flowers.
It would, I know, but it would be insane for a 50-50 split and it to have the perfect
Yeah.
form you're thinking of.
No, well, you
to
have
be
to,
like,
you have to grow it.
oh god, it'd take forever.
Right.
And then the species itself are so rare.
Imagine how good it would look.
They look insane. They just look insane. We're
Yeah.
talking about insane because
Possibilities.
we're now. Let's take it a step back. Like we had this conversation, all of us, before. How the hell did they make Kiko? How did that form come to
What
be?
form, yeah.
Or that cultivar
Do
come
you
to
have
be?
Do you have anything that is like what you
Here's-
would consider a prerequisite
Right.
to Kiko? Like that would
I-
have been the reason why. What was it?
It's the Strongylogonum, like the
Okay.
naturally occurring variety Strongylogonum. In people's mind, like, oh, that's where Kiko came from because it's like wobbly
Yeah,
like that.
There's like
Okay.
It's
chemicals kind of
really,
come out.
really just not though. It just happens to look like it,
Yes.
but it's not where it came from. What I think happened is it just was a natural mutation that got exploited.
That's what I'm thinking.
Now I've
Almost.
seen that form. I actually had this conversation with Ed, my planted life, yesterday. He had a myriostigma that was offsetting, and the offset looks like a fucking Kiko. the pup that's growing out of the aerial looks like a damn Kiko from a regular myriostigma. And I think that's what happened.
Yeah.
I think that's what happened.
So what would be the more
That could be it.
natural occurring variable in forms of all 6 species? We said the least.
Oh, okay.
Now the most.
Most
God.
Is it
variable?
myriostigma? Because it's
Asterias, I think.
Asterias.
Asterias, yes.
Yeah. I mean, people are like making their own fucking
One seed pod will
everything.
give you just
Oh, yeah.
all different.
Oh yeah. And that's one seed pod from like 2 plants that look identical. Now cross one with one that looks different, you're gonna get just
You just know, it's just-
yeah, just a crazy amount of stuff. I already see it in just tiny containers.
Right.
Or you look at somebody like Madam Cacti.
Yeah.
God, the variety is just
She's gonna
insane.
find some. She's
Yeah,
gonna,
yeah.
she's gonna for sure
Introduce
some
Oh, yeah.
true
Oh yeah,
cultivation.
she's doing it the right way. I mean, the the problem most of
Just
us,
the numbers.
other people have is the space. You got to have the space
To grow the
to
vast
be able to
amount
just be like,
to a
boom.
certain age where you could be like,
Right.
yes,
Okay.
no,
Yes. No. Yes.
yes.
No. Throw these. Not throw. I mean, some people do. They just throw them away, dude.
Yeah.
Right,
They're,
they don't
they're
have
growing
time
so
for
many.
space.
They're like, I don't have time or the space.
Yeah.
These are trash.
We kept
I know
the
it's
trade
like
that we
it's
want,
heartbreaking.
and then the rest of them
Yeah.
gone.
But
Yeah, I
they do
would-
that.
But
I
how
would
many
too. Is that
Cavaliers
space?
they're doing?
I'm seeing them more come out of the foreign growers. They're starting to come out more, less and less local, which trying
Right.
to change that.
We gotta change it.
Trying to change it, putting the seed out there, getting people growing them. That's step one. Get them
Have
crossing.
you sold seeds from the Cavaliers?
Oh yeah, a bunch. I probably have mature, like flowering, 30-ish. Mature Coliens that
Nice.
I'm getting flowers
I
from.
have 3 that
Crossing.
never flowered.
They take a while.
Those are flowering age.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
one's flowering age.
Last,
It's already
last
on
year,
one.
one gave me a bud, but it didn't.
This, what do you,
They didn't make
probably
it.
5 years?
No,
6?
it's gotta be more because when we get them from Yoda, which,
6 to
which
8.
This girl got them from Yoda, and then they grew them out.
Yeah,
They have to be what 3 to 4.
4 plant before you.
They're like this big.
right. Oh yeah, I have almost 2-year-old seedlings. They're like this still.
So
like,
they're 3 to 4, and then they grew them for about a year and a half. I want to say.
Yes.
yeah,
So 3 to 4. Yeah, you're right.
yeah.
5 to 6.
But the thing is, and this is what,
Five
I
or
mean,
six,
this
maybe.
isn't exclusive to Astrophytum, but
Right.
they have a growth spurt.
Yeah.
Like you see this like slow, and then like 4 comes around, it's like doubles in size in a year. And then, it kind of keeps going from there. But with all that flecking on there, it definitely slows it down.
Slows
Yeah.
down. But
Considerably.
you want the flecking.
Right, oh yeah, you
So,
gotta have
I
it.
wonder if you could like scrape some of the bottom up so you could grow faster. You ever thought about that?
Fuck,
Scrape-
you're
scrape?
off the wall.
Scrape
no,
what?
no, dude.
Scrape
I've
the
never
speckle?
thought about
Get more
that.
green. Like
Yeah,
get
so
more.
you get more photosynthesized.
No, I
You're
don't
doing
know,
it with bushes, You're doing it
dude.
with bushes. You're doing
I'm thinking the opposite, dude. I'm thinking I would like to, if I have enough to grow from seed, I would like to cultivate a hairy one.
Oh yeah, you want to
No,
get
we're not-
hairier,
well,
but you're
I
saying
wanna get a
for
hairball,
speed,
dude.
For, like,
for
the
speed.
growth. Well,
Like
you could-
say,
you could-
Imagine.
You could graft them for speed.
oh yeah, for
That's not
sure.
fucking around.
That's how. Yeah, that's the fastest.
But
But you're not wrong. You're not wrong. That's the shit nobody
Fucking bring
thinks
the
about
knife.
that,
We're
bro.
gonna scrape the
Erase
shit
Yeah,
out
do
of
it
it.
right
erase
now?
it. Erase it with the eraser.
Well, okay, but you have another
Okay.
one. Hold on, you have another one same size, right? Exact same size.
Yeah.
You have to keep both
Or
of them.
just
You have to keep both of them.
Oh shit! You can just erase them.
You
yeah,
going.
yeah. You can erase it. Erase it.
But would it work?
Do it
Well,
like
the
a,
only way we're gonna find out is you doing it right here. And
That's
then next
crazy,
time we go
dude.
live,
This is the kind of
I mean,
questions
that's how
like nobody's thinking about that. That's a very smart question. Look at that. You got a nudum meristigma. Oh, nudum
Oh, yeah.
Caliens.
How will let you do the baby?
Oh, that's
When
crazy.
you take it off and
Yeah,
it's
it's
like,
supposed to do that.
No, there's
Oh.
it's a texture.
You're right. It almost looks like
So a noodle covered heads.
it's like a texture.
It's like a texture.
That's interesting.
Look at the texture.
Yeah, I can see that. That's
It's
a
like a
trip.
lizard skin.
Show them.
That'd
Just
be
take it up
cool,
there.
man.
That's a trip. That is super cool.
Why wouldn't there be a noodle?
I know.
There's
Well,
a,
you
there's,
get the. You know what? The closest relative of the Coliens is Capricorn.
okay.
A lot of the same.
The flowers
features
look very
and the
similar.
flecking too. The flecking.
Okay.
If you look at a really white
Neveum.
Capricorn, they look pretty much the same as far as that texture.
Right.
So what do you think? Would it work or would it hinder it?
I wonder how much you have to do. You probably have to scrape off like half a rib.
Like one good
Yeah.
wedge.
Yeah.
Should we do it?
Do it. You
I
already
think I
started.
think you should do the
It's
whole
not gonna
fucking
grow back.
cactus. You already did it. Just do the whole cactus, but you can do it on your own time.
That's
'Cause
crazy,
right now we're like,
dude. I'm interested.
nah, I don't think it all comes off, huh? There's some areas
No,
where
like the topper, like it has to be like the older.
Yeah, the
spectrum.
older stuff falls
And
off.
near the- near
Wow.
Near the tropical.
You think?
They're not.
I don't think it's photosynthesizing as much now. Though.
I think
Oh,
it's
you know
gonna
what would be
photosynthesize
crazy?
less.
If
Yeah.
this motherfucker grows back his hairs.
No,
No, I
it
think it's
won't.
gonna cork up.
Yeah, it's gonna do
It's
something.
gonna be just corking up.
Oh, well, we'll find
Because
out.
you're like causing some sort of injury. to
Yeah,
it.
that's what I think.
Yeah, it almost looks like pores.
Yeah.
Like we're ripping off through the pores.
Oh, for sure.
You think I'm gonna kill it? You think
I
it's
don't
gonna
know,
die?
but it's, I don't
No,
know.
no,
For some
yeah.
reason, it's making me angry. God damn it, Oscar. Well, Folks, you seen it here first.
Succulent Bros podcast. Everybody.
What happened with that? Oh, it didn't do anything. I just fucked it
I
up.
just sold it.
We'll do a follow-up video in 4 years to see if it fucking grew any faster.
In a year, you can see. If
Yeah,
it
growing
grows
season.
up or-
Actually, past this growing season, you should be able to see the
Yeah,
difference.
if you have another one next to it,
It has to be the same size.
Yeah.
Same size, same soil, the whole thing.
Right, right.
Just leave it there.
Leave it there.
Go put them in the greenhouse.
I think that's a great idea, dude. I think that's a really
Damn.
cool experiment.
And
Okay,
we don't-
so this is what we're gonna do. We're
real
gonna
deep.
give this one to Baker. You gotta pick up a few today, so you can
Yeah,
just
that's true.
keep a regular one.
Oh, keep an eye on it.
Yeah, so we're gonna give it to Baker.
Next to you.
I like it.
I mutilated one, and then
Let me do a little bit more.
it feels great.
Ah, see, yeah, some of this does not come off.
The other one, see, the bottom
It's because
one's
it's
easy.
old, yeah.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
We'll see how it does.
Okay.
Man. Deep
Cool.
dive in Astros, folks.
Stay tuned, folks.
Right. So what do you guys think? You want to call it quits on the pod today, or
I
what?
think we've been going on for like hours now.
Yeah,
How
and
long
you
have
guys
we
usually just bullshit. I come here and we're all fucking scientific.
been- Yeah,
I won't tell.
I watched like 45 minutes of what I forgot what I was watching. I was like, what are you, we never even talked about a plant, I don't think.
dude. Yeah,
There
there
was
might be
one
an
that was
episode.
talking about how I was turned into a MILF.
Yeah.
Yes, it's stupid. I was like, damn it, I'll never get this time back of my life. My deathbed, I'm
I
like,
am
it
not-
would be 30 minutes longer if I didn't watch that stupid video.
I am now stupid of watching this thing.
Yeah.
But-
It's fun.
but,
Yeah, this is a lot of fun. Let's call
Thank
it.
you, Baker.
Yeah, this
Thank
is
you for
awesome.
coming by. Thank you for being a great guest and bringing some of your
Thank
plants.
you for being our
Everybody
friend.
give Baker a follow. He's on Instagram. He has his own website. You want to tell him your website?
BakerSex.com.
There you go. You want
He's
some Astros?
He's
Hit
a
him up.
Mastros. He's a Mastros.
Follow us on the YouTube. Give
On
us
the
a subscribe,
socials.
like, comment, and all that.
Yeah.
There we go.
Thank you.
Later, guys.
There you have it, folks.
Hey, you got